Hey guys! Now, this is part 5. It is still June 13th, so I'm doing this, in order. I'm doing this right after the other one. This is my part 5 of my Q&A video for my 250 subscriber giveaway. And this is the last part. This is it. I don't care if this is a 20-minute video or not. I'm just going to get it done. So, for the people who I am answering the questions, your names will be in the description box down below. If you don't see your name, you don't have to watch the video. Simple. There are 5 of these, so I completely understand if you don't want to watch them. But I do want to make sure I get to the people who asked the question. So, let's get started, shall we? Emma's RNY journey. Girl, you're having your surgery tomorrow. Congrats. I'm rooting for you. I know you're on your liquid thing today, so, yeah, sleep the day away if you can. I know you're trying. Question. How long after surgery were you given the okay to exercise? For me, it was 4 weeks, but my doctor was very, laissez-faire about it, and he said just listen to your own body and push to your, push as much as you want to, but you know your own body and you'll know when you're ready. But he said 4 weeks. So, yeah. I was already, after 2 weeks after surgery, I was already walking 3 miles. So, it was 4 weeks that I was able to start lifting and things like that. And that's also when I went back to work. Thank you, sweets. RWM S-A-H. Hey, girl. 3 weeks out on Monday. Does it, this is a while ago, girl. So, does the spasms and, Veronica, please stop. Does the spasms and gurgling ever go away or get easier to deal with? A simple sip of water can take my breath away. Please stop. Stop. Here. Don't chew. Here. Don't chew. Okay, fine. You probably already have already gotten over this, so I'm sorry this is coming out so late. But you probably already have found out that it does go away. If it doesn't go away, if right now you're still experiencing these things, you should probably be talking to your doctor because that's not right. But I do know that there's a lot of spasming and gurgling to go, to start with at first. But it does get better. The gurgling, it doesn't go away. Sorry. I still deal with a lot of gas and gurgles. So, Pete rocks. Hey. Hey, Pete. How long did you research or think about weight loss surgery before you actually signed up for it? Let's see. The first time I hit 320 pounds, which was 6 years ago or something, but a long time ago, I did look into the surgery, but I thought it wasn't, I looked into lap band, 6 years ago, but I didn't have anybody that I knew that did it, so it was so obscure, and people were so kind of negative and weird about it. Sorry, I'm gonna, there we go. People are so negative and weird about it that I didn't think it was a possibility for me, so I just dismissed it and went on Nutrisystem, and I did lose a lot of weight on Nutrisystem. I lost 100 pounds, so that worked out well, but, this time around, I started looking in the summer. I started looking May of 2015, really looking into it. I saw a lot of videos, and that's the YouTube videos really what pushed me to do it. I saw so many success stories from it, and I never seen anybody do it before, so I didn't have any prior experience until I saw YouTube. And so I would say it was a good 6 months or so before I started calling the doctors and getting consultations and things like that. So Veronica, please watch TV. Sorry, she's gonna do that. So thank you, Pete. Christy Riley, she asks, in the time leading up to your VSG surgery, what did you do to try to get yourself prepared for what it was like? Has your life after VSG surgery been what you expected? Looking back, is there anything else you wish you would have done? So, okay, so you can never truly, I prepared myself as much as I possibly could for the physical ramifications of the surgery, what to expect as far as recovery time, risks, side effects, things like that. What I would expect to be able to eat, what the surgery will do for me, what I expect to lose. But as far as the emotional stuff, I looked into it, but there's nothing that can prepare you fully for the surgery. Everyone feels differently, everyone experiences things differently, so it's almost impossible to fully prepare for the surgery. Especially the emotional stuff. But you do understand, there is hormonal changes, and you know that, but you don't really know how it's going to feel until it actually happens. And somebody will say, it hurts like hell and it won't hurt for you at all. Or somebody will say, I've heard somebody complain that nobody on YouTube has told them that this surgery hurts and it hurt for them. Well, It doesn't hurt for everybody. Everybody has a different experience when it comes to surgery. My pain isn't the same as somebody else's pain. It's not going to be the same. So I cannot fully prepare you ever for what it's going to feel like for you to have surgery. You have to go through it and experience it yourself. And when you watch YouTube videos, understand that we are all different people. We're not the same. It's not going to be the same. Period. Dot. And every surgeon does things differently. They also do different diets. Dietitians all do different things different. You know, like, there's not a one thing you're going to find completely similar to someone else. It's just, period, the way it is. So please stop. She's destroying the couch. So thank you. Sherry Gets Sleeve 2016. Hey, girl. Okay, did you share your journey with your coworkers? If you saw how... okay, so her coworkers are jackasses. At least one of them is. But I think that if they knew you did it, if it was something you were going to do, they wouldn't have said the things that they said. So, my coworkers have been super supportive of it. Nobody has been mean about it. I've told a lot of people, and nobody is cool. Nobody is mean about it. I do keep my Facebooks and stuff separate. I have a separate Facebook page because I don't want it to drown my channel. And there are a few people I know that are judgy McJudgerton, so I do try to keep it away from them. But for the most part, I'm pretty open about it, and my coworkers are really supportive, so they're really cool. I don't have a single person that isn't, like, telling me how awesome I am and how inspiring I am and things like that. So, despite the surgery, they still think I'm inspiring, contrary to the whole belief that this is a lazy person's way out. So, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I have a feeling if you told her you were getting the surgery, she wouldn't have said that. Because people do like to save face, and even though they think things, they will keep that shit to themselves most of the time. So, Green Machine VSG Aussie. Hey, girl! So, how do you get your vegetables in when protein takes up so much of the gastric space and caloric intake for WLS people? I don't. Okay, so if I want vegetables, I'm basically relying on protein shakes. Because I only can get 2.5 ounces in at almost 4 months out in a sitting. So total. So my plate usually looks like 2 ounces of meat, ½ ounce of veg. So it's like a tablespoon of vegetables. Like, it's absolutely nothing, if less. Because if it's a dense vegetable, it'll be even less. So I can't get anything in, really. And if I get fed up, which I do, if I get fed up with not being able to have any vegetables, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna sit down and have some broccoli, goddammit. Which does have some protein in it. Minimal, but does have some protein in it. Or if I sit down and say, I want a salad. Screw this shit, I want a salad. I know I'm going to be drinking probably a couple more protein shakes at night to get the protein I need in. Because I've just taken up all the space with veggies. So it's either I get real protein or I get fake protein. And that's my choice. Like, do I spend the day eating real protein and not have to supplement that much? Or do I spend the day eating some real protein but also some vegetables and then have to supplement with fake protein? So it's just... pretty much it has to be a choice, and yes, it is a difficult struggle. Vegetables are not high on the priority list, and I will be looking forward to the day when it does become more of a central part of my diet. But I'm thinking probably after 6 months out, my stomach will get a little more stretchy again, and I can eat more. And once that happens, I'll be able to eat more vegetables. Okay, so Tara Short and Sleevey. Hey, girl. How do you think you would have done if you didn't have YouTube vloggers to learn from and support you? And do you have a lot of support in your everyday real life? So, okay, as far as my real life, because that's going to be short and sweet, I have a ton of support. My sisters are super supportive. My mother is supportive. My father is elated. But I don't see those people every day. My husband is supportive, and he lets me talk about it, but he's not a cheerleader of any way, shape, or form. He's not really fond of the surgery. He's had a lot of experience with the not so great side of it. So he's not fond of the surgery, so he's not a cheerleader for it or anything, but he is super supportive of like the changes I'm making and things like that. And he does the diet, like he's completely taken in the lifestyle. So I do get a lot of support, but not a lot of cheerleaders. And that's where YouTube comes in. YouTube is like cheerleader heaven. If you need support, you need constant reinforcement, you need somebody to constantly back you and noticeably have your back, that's where YouTube came in. I think it's extremely vital. If it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have done the surgery because I knew nobody in my life that had it done. I didn't think a viable thing for people to do, but I didn't know anybody. YouTube opened up my eyes to a whole world of people who had this done, and it was completely normal. And it wasn't an abnormal thing at all. And it was completely acceptable. And that was unheard of. Like, I didn't ever hear that. And I mean, there are people in my life that I told about the surgery that gave me nasty looks and didn't say anything necessarily mean, but like were nasty about it. And that was my experience. Like, that's the experience I had. And if it weren't for YouTube, I would have just gone off of that and been like, you know, maybe the surgery isn't for me. So yes, YouTube was essential in getting the surgery done. Thanks, sweets. DL. You have to take pills and supplements that are not chewable. How do you manage with how much water you need to get them down? Okay, so this far out, I don't have to worry about it at all because I can gulp water like crazy. But at first, it was like freaking impossible. You can't swallow. I have like the little hypothyroid pill that I could take because I only needed a little sip of water to get it down. But the big pills, you pretty much have to work with your doctor to get different pills. Some of them will just have you stop taking. The pills that you have to take, they usually do it liquid form, chewable. They cut them up. They find different ways for you to take them. Like my hydrocodone, when I got home, I didn't take pill form. I took it in liquid because you're not supposed to swallow any of that stuff. So you're supposed to work with your doctor to find alternates for these medicines for the first few weeks. And then after that, a gulp of water, like, is not really that big of a deal. One gulp of water, it will hurt a little bit, but you'll be able to get it down. So that would be working with your doctor to find the pills that you need to take in a different form, shape, or whatever. I know there's a lot of vitamins they have you stop taking right after surgery because, like, you can't get them down. Thanks, Melanie VSG. Hey, sweets. During your pureed fuse stage, did you puree anything odd? And what was your go-to that week? Are you on Instagram? I mentioned the Instagram thing. I have that information usually below on my weekly updates, not usually on these. As far as pureed stage, I didn't puree anything odd. I just pretty much stuck with normal shit. My go-to was pea soup, not split pea soup, just pea soup, and ricotta cheese, Jello popsicles. I did not go crazy or anything like that. So I was very basic on my pureed stage. It was only 2 weeks. You only have that much to go. And then, of course, tons of protein shakes. Okay, next question. Kayla VSG journey. Hey, girl. I love watching you. Okay, sorry. What has been your biggest non-scale victory, and is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Biggest NSV has been it's definitely, I've mentioned these in other videos, but it has been the lack of pain. Any pain, joint pain, back pain, arm pain, I had carpal tunnel pain, foot pain, it's gone. It's gone. And that is to be my biggest NSV, apart from my ring coming off. That was stuck on there for a while, but those are the two biggest NSVs I've had so far. Next one, Made Up Mama. Hey, girl. Who are your favorite sleepers to watch, and what tips are you getting in extra protein in the early weeks? The early weeks, I didn't get much protein in. Like, it wasn't important to me at all during the first couple of weeks. Water was important to me during the first couple of weeks. And then once I was able to start getting 60 ounces of water, that's when I started focusing on protein. And the best way to get protein in, because I was on that shit once I was able to, is protein shakes. Like, Premier Protein was my friend. 30 grams of protein, 2 a day. That was pretty much my regimen for, like, the first, like, month or so. That's 60 grams of protein. That's all you need. And I was trying to get those down 2 a day for sure. So I was on those like crazy. I was on protein powder with water, but mostly because those are 30 grams of protein, I was mostly on that. So that was how I got it in. My favorite sleepers to watch. Now, I don't really have favorites. I have so many people I like to watch that I don't like play the favorites game. However, the people that I started watching before I had the surgery that motivated me to get the surgery, I will list off who they are. These are the oldies but goodies. My pillow. Sorry guys if you're doing that. Oldies but goodies, and they're the people who really helped me get the surgery done. So I will list them off. Clusie L. She's fantastic. She's one of the first people I watched next to finding Elizabeth. Finding Elizabeth and Clusie were the first two people I found and really connected with those people, and they're the ones that got me motivated. Other people I started watching after I really started diving into YouTube videos before I had the surgery was VSG Tanya, Experiencing Nirvana, Melly May, Pete Rocks, Scotty RNY, Scotty RNY, Drea VSG, less of Sarah. Those are the people that I tend to watch the most before I had the surgery. So then, of course, I started connecting with people more on my level, people who hadn't had the surgery yet, people who were getting their surgery done, people who were only a few weeks out. I really started getting with my own crowd, I should say, and getting into that stuff. So the newbies, so to speak, and that I connect with them on a daily basis. But like people like Finding Elizabeth and like Melly May and things like that. Those are the people who I looked up to, the people that I were inspired by. So, okay, DL. Hey, girl. Supplements. Oh wait, I'm way past that. I went backwards. Sorry. Let's see. I just did Made Up Mama. And okay. Are you losing hair, and how much? And what are you doing to take as far as taking tablets? Okay, so losing hair. Yeah, that's why I cut it all off. I was losing my hair like crazy. It was falling out. I'm at 3 months out, almost 4, and it was falling out. It was starting to get annoying. It wasn't coming out in clumps yet, but it was starting to get annoying. Just having it all over me all the time. It constantly being wrapped up in loose hairs. So I cut it all off. That's why my hair is short, like really short. And dyed because it looked weird without it being dyed. So, yeah, it was. That's why I decided to do this. I will keep it short until it starts to not fall out again. So, and then as far as taking supplements, I was taking biotin, but it doesn't fucking help. I mean, my hair grew out super long within those 3 months. And then at the 3-month mark, when my hair really started falling out, it didn't really matter anymore. So it's keeping everything good, but I mean, my nails are chipping. Everything is kind of falling apart. And I was taking biotin like 6 months before surgery and up to 3 months. I'm still taking the biotin, but you know, what can you do? What can you do? It's just gonna come. It's just gonna come out. Biotin helps, I think, with the strength, but I think it's still gonna fall out no matter what. So that is the last question part. So I'm still debating on whether I want to do a giveaway at 500 or 750, but we will see when we cross that bridge. We are almost at 500. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. You guys are all great. I love you all so much, and you guys are doing fantastic. I mean, so many of you guys are doing fantastic. Some of you are just now getting started with your journeys, and I look forward to you being on the loser bench with the rest of us. And I'm going to call that a video, right? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.